how a family doctor misdiagnosed an aneurysm. Want to know how did this happen? Hello, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm a medical malpractice attorney practicing law here in the state of Maryland. And I would like to talk with you today about a very unfortunate case in which I was reviewing in a case review. And in this particular set of facts, what happened is a middle-aged man was in his yard working, and while working, he ended up falling and hitting his head when he fell. He came into the house, he told his wife what happened, and she said, you know what, honey, we've got to go to the emergency room. So she drives him to the emergency room, and at the emergency room, he's complaining to the doctor of headaches, blurred vision, and neck pain. Well, the doctors at the emergency room, they do all the necessary tests, and they don't find any evidence immediately of any type of brain trauma or any type of brain injury. And what they diagnosed him with is essentially whiplash, him hurting his neck when he fell. But the emergency room doctor told the patient, told him that, look, I want you to follow up, stay on this. I want you to follow up with your family doctor or your general practitioner and let them know what's going on. Well, later that night, the individual is having a hard time. When he was at the hospital, they had pretty much prescribed him some medication and they gave him a neck brace for his neck because, again, whiplash is what they were diagnosing everything with. But later that evening, this gentleman is just really having a hard time. He's having headaches, face pain. Not only is he still having pain in his neck, but he also has pain in the back of his head. He also is having trouble urinating that night. So the next morning, he gets up and he gets on the phone with his family doctor and he explains to his family doctor what had happened in the yard, went to the emergency room, explained to the doctor all of the symptoms. Well, the family doctor had him to come in and did an examination on him and everything and said, you know what, I think that it is. It's whiplash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prescribe you some medication and this should help you out. Well, we fast forward in time a couple of days, and the gentleman, his situation is not getting better. He's back on the phone with his general practitioner or his family doctor, and he's complaining about face pain, blurred vision. He's nauseous. He's vomiting. He's having also really bad pain in the back of his head, and he just says that his face is hurting. He's having the worst headache that he's ever had in his life. Well, the family doctor is listening to all of this, and he's still concluding that it is whiplash. So again, we fast forward a couple of days into the future, and the husband, he's talking to his wife about everything. He said, honey, my face, I'm really having problems. I'm having bad headaches. My face hurts. The back of my head hurts. My neck is hurting. I'm having blurred vision. I'm just having a really hard time. So the wife, she listens to all of this and she takes him back to the family doctor. And the wife, she's a medical professional, and she talks to the family doctor and she says, you know what, doc, do you think we need to get him to see a neurologist? And the family doctor says, no, I don't think we need that. What we need to do is we need to let him get a CT scan, get a radiologist, send him to a radiologist and have a CT scan done. Well, the patient is sent out and they do the CT scan. And the doctor, the family doctor and the radiologist, they talk about everything and they conclude, family doctor concludes that, you know what, based on everything that I'm looking at, talk to the radiologist, the CT scan is negative. And he tells his patient and the wife, tells them all of this. Well, we fast forward weeks this time into the future. And the individual, the husband, he's at work and he's working. And all of a sudden, he's hit with a massive headache. And the headache is so bad, again, he tells his coworkers, this is just, oh my gosh, this headache, I'm just having a really hard time. While at work, he loses his vision and he begins to vomit. Coworkers see this and they really begin to get alerted, of course, and they call the paramedics. Paramedics come in and they rush him to the emergency room. Now, while at the emergency room, a neurologist has an opportunity to look at everything. The neurologist gets the CT scan. Remember that CT scan that was done? Gets the CT scan that was done weeks earlier and looks at the CT scan. And in the neurologist's notes, the neurologist states that the CT scan clearly showed a brain hemorrhage at the time. And the family doctor did not see this. And the family doctor did not send the patient out to see a neurologist or to see a specialist to get help with this particular type of situation. Unfortunately, while at the hospital, the patient died. And when the experts were being lined up for this particular case for the plaintiff in a wrongful death action, there were family doctors or general practitioners who were consulted in this particular case. And questions were asked of these general practitioners, such as, if a patient came in with these particular types of symptoms, what would you have done? And all of the experts looked at it and they all said, we would have sent this particular patient out to see a specialist. We would not have tried to just keep the patient and deal with the patient on our own. We would have done a consult. So why have I taken the time to talk with you about these unfortunate events today? Because if you're watching this video, you've had a loved one possibly die or have suffered a serious injury, a brain aneurysm or some other type of brain injury, because your family doctor or a general practitioner failed to take a look at the signs that were clearly present, and that general practitioner or that family doctor failed to send you or your loved one out to be seen by a specialist. When a family doctor or general practitioner fails to do this, then a strong argument can be made that this particular doctor is needlessly endangering his patient. I'm showing you and I'm talking to you in this video about this because you have questions and concerns. You are trying to figure out this process. You want to know whether you or your loved one was the victim of medical malpractice. Well, if you have all of these questions and concerns, this is what I invite you to do. And it costs you absolutely nothing to do this. Pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832, or if you prefer, send me an email to medicalinjury@bostonlawllc.com. I answer medical malpractice questions like yours all the time, and I'll be glad to listen to your story. If you're like a lot of our clients or a lot of people who are in this particular type of situation, you more than likely have worry, you have concern. Go ahead and give me a call, because I may be able to explain the process and talk to you about this and help decrease your worry, your confusion, and things like that that can stem out of these particular types of cases. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the medical malpractice attorneys here at Boston Law Group, LLC, and we'll see you next time. Guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.